It's recommended that YouTube video titles don't exceed 60 characters, at least from what I've read, so I'm making a Chrome extension to warn me. We're using ReScript and React to augment YouTube Studio with extra features. ReScript Web API has a bunch of bindings for interacting with the DOM, so we're going to use that. Start by doing some refactoring. We're going to set up a mutation observer to watch for changes to that input. The setup in code is very similar to how you do it in plain JavaScript, just instead of calling new, you kind of just can replace it with .make here. And so we're going to watch our video title element. That way we can listen for any changes to it and read off its new value anytime it changes. And digging around in these mutation records, we can see that there's an added node. This node is actually a div, and we can describe its text content. So this mutation list is an array of mutations. So we'll take the first mutation record out of the list, and we'll grab its target. The target is a node, and so we can grab the node's inner text. Now that it's working, we'll do some light refactoring to grab the string length so we can check it and see if it's greater than 60 characters long. We'll use a classic window.alert to show a simple notification letting us know that it's too long. And here we have a simple error. We can use map with default to let us get around having to pattern match on text bulk value here because it's an optional. And you can't compare optionals and integers. So we can just fall back to 0, and that's an easy way to get around it. So while that works, it's not the best user experience, so let's make some updates. So we'll introduce a bit of state and toggle whether or not we're over the limit or under the limit and update some UI based on that state. In our main view here, we'll pattern match on our state, and if it's over the limit, we'll render our view over limit. But if it's under the limit, we'll simply render nothing. Now we can remove the alert and update our state if we're over 60 characters, otherwise we're under the limit. And just like that, we have a functioning widget that will let us know when our titles get too long. Whoops, actually there's a bug. We're actually watching the wrong element, so let's get that fixed. The element we need to observe is nested inside our maybe video title element. So we'll flat map another query from there to get the input element we need to observe. You can see how it updates as we type. So we'll do some light refactoring to pattern match on both optional values here. Putting them in a tuple, we can pattern match on maybe video title element and the input, So observer can watch the input, and we can render our component to the title element. There's still one small bug, but observing the right element fixes the bigger issue. We're missing our initial state, warning us if our title is already over our 60 character limit. So to get our initial state, we'll read the length of the text right away. And setting that as our initial state. And now this is working much better. But it could look a little better, so let's add some style to it to make it stand out.